guys, yesterday we finished off the headboard. The only thing I got left today is clean up a little bit of it. I got a couple of drainage holes to drill for galvanizers and 2 light mounting brackets to weld onto this. Oh, long breath. And next part is going to be making the rear headboard, a couple of cappings, and that'll be it for today. So let's crack on with it. So to start our second day off, I had to finish off the first headboard we made, and the only thing I had to do on there was give it a very quick clean up and drill some drainage holes only in the closed off box section. And that's for when it goes to galvanizing, the pressure doesn't build up inside of that and the gal can flow through, in, out, cover everything. After we removed the headboard from the workshop and put it outside ready for galvanizers, we quickly cleaned up the work area, prepare it for the next headboard, but that's to come later on. And now here is where the fun begins. We use the gantry or an overhead crane to pick up the sheet of steel, put it on the guillotine. The small issue we had was the trucking away, but you do what you gotta do. Once we got the sheet down onto the bed of the guillotine, we marked where we're going to do the cuts, and we proceeded with making the cuts. Then later on, which unfortunately I don't have the footage of, I marked where the hole was gonna go, and I ended up going to use the punch and punch the holes out instead of drilling them out. We're having all this fun cutting and preparing, and then the disaster struck. Adrian had live feed on his phone from the camera behind the guillotine. I just seen a wet patch appear underneath him. I knew something happened, but I didn't know what it was.
You put it too close. I told you about the screws. Let's assess the damage now, come on.
So, after assessing the damage, luckily the camera survived and we were able to carry on. Speaking of carrying on, here is my little area where I was making the cappings for the drop sides. more specifically aluminium drop sides that I was building. They go on the ends of the aluminium planking where we have the lock-in system, the little hole that you've seen earlier. This is how we attach the safety rail to the top, and some flat that gets bolted through to attach the aluminium to it.
Are you listening?
And lastly, we finally begin to fabricate the rear headboard. One side is slightly taller than the other on this specific headboard, and that's because we're having a rear access through the crane to the body of the truck. And that concludes the build for today. 2 days, we made 2 headboards and cappings. All of this is going to be sent up for galvanizing, which concludes the subcomponents. And the next part is going to be the main truck.